First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of a great millstone that taught me this truth. Today's lesson, I wanted to go into how the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is always looking. Okay, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is always looking. And this video was literally inspired by pretty much a chariot sighting I had 5 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Right, so pretty much I just went to my car to chill, right, think about some things. Just had the windows down, seat laid back, and I was just thinking, right, just thinking about the Lord, right, things that happened in my life, right, and where I'm at right now, and how I can improve. And in the midst of this, just me thinking, I literally am just chilling, and out of the corner of my eye, I see literally like a twinkle, like a light twinkle, and I look at it, and it's literally like it looked like a saucer, man. I couldn't really see it from far, right? Like the distinguishing it, but it looked like just like a beam, right? Like literally like a tic tac, a dark tic tac, and it was just flying across the sky, slowly, but it was just flying across the sky, right? And at first I looked at it, I'm like, is that an airplane? I'm like, nah, it can't be. That has to be a chariot, right? So I kept looking at it till it disappeared, went behind some trees. I'm like, damn, right? And at first I was doubtful. Okay, so I was just chilling again, and the same thing, man. Now that was at the side of my window. I was looking at the side, but now it happened at the front. Same thing. I see a light literally flicker, and it's the same vehicle again passing, but now in my windshield at the front, right further, uh, pretty much at my front view. The one was on my left view, but now this one's at my front view. The same thing, and I'm like, wow, man. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All praise. Okay, so the same thing. It passes for a little bit and goes. And while this is happening, right, I look out my backseat window because I was just, I don't know, something caught my attention, and I see a plane. And this is what really solidified it to me that this wasn't a plane that I saw the previous two times. Is that the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai showed me a plane passing a pretty much by the same area, and you can see distinctively that this was a plane, that it had wings. Okay, it wasn't like the other two sightings that I just had. Okay, and that confirmed that hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai sent some chariots for me to see, and that's not even the end of it. Right after the plane, I saw three more sightings, man, just chilling in my car in the same area, the same trajectory. Right, I'm literally just looking at the sky, and it literally while I'm looking at the sky, I see something just blink at me, just a pure beam of light, man. And the pure beam of light turns into the same vehicle passing in the same trajectory I just saw it. Okay, and while I'm seeing that, I look out in the front. I say, I'm thinking, why? Praise the Lord, right? The water Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and I see another one as I'm speaking pop up. Right, I see two at the same time, one in my front view and one in my side view. Okay, and I'm just like pretty much shocked. Right? I'm shocked. I'm like, wow, like the Lord, he's showing me some heavy signs. Right, it was a heavy faith booster that was very needed. Okay, because ultimately the Lord, right, he shows brothers chariots from time to time, and it's just all in seasons. Like I remember when I first came into the truth, the Lord would show me chariots at night. I think nearly every single day, right, every single day. Okay, and then there was a period where he stopped. Okay, and I pretty much forgot what it looked like to look at a chariot. Right, I forgot that if you were to look at the sky, they'd be there. Right, but today he really boosted my faith, man. And I'm making a video going into how the Lord is always looking. Right, He knows how to boost your faith. Right, and He's always gonna show you signs that He's there. Right, everything we're going through in life is destined. It is already written. So whether we're going through some heartache, some broke ache, right, whatever type of trials and tribulations, it's all for our betterment, and we're exactly where we need to be. Okay. So this is Psalms chapter 34 and verse 7. It says, the angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Right, going into how constantly there's angels all around us, protecting us and guiding us. Okay, and going into this, applying it to the situation that just happened, right, the angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him. Right, the Most High literally showed me visually that we have chariots, we have angels, right, looking. Okay, giving us a faith, extra faith, and there's no words to describe what I saw, man. And it's crazy that the Most High, the way He planned is because I pretty much left my phone indoors to charge, and I just went out to the car to just chill. And that's when He showed me all this. Right? He didn't want this to be seen by other people for me to record it. He literally showed me just for me. Okay, to boost my faith and ultimately to make this video. Okay, to keep on pushing. That was a sign to keep on pushing because those vehicles that I saw, hey, those are going to be the same vehicles that come to save us and to destroy this wicked ass empire. Let's read it. Okay, because Zechariah saw the same thing, right? The flying scroll. Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1 says, Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And this is literally exactly how it happened, man. I literally turned and I saw a flying roll. It says, and that's talking about the so-called UFOs, the chariots of the angels, the vehicles. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Literally the same way I saw it, right? Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And that's the point, is that this is the curse, right? It's a curse that people across the entire earth see these vehicles, right? Why is it a curse? It's a curse because these are the vehicles that are going to come to destroy this place, okay, alongside Yahweh Shai the Messiah, right? So it's a constant reminder, right, when you see these vehicles that, hey, destruction is pending, right? It's coming. It says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. Right? And, hey, who is the thief? Right? Who is that? Who is that person that swears falsely by his name? Hey, that's first and foremost talking about Esau, Edom, the Edomites. Okay, the wicked of the earth. Okay, these vehicles are gonna be the ones that come back to destroy his kingdom. Okay, the so-called American, okay, slash Roman Empire. Okay, and a key point, it says that it shall remain in the midst of his house. Right? What is the main dwelling place of the Edomite, the so-called white person? Here in America, Babylon the Great. Right? And if you search up UFO, right, UFO world sightings, there's no coincidence, right, that the there's no coincidence that the populated, the most concentrated UFO sightings is where? In the house of the thief, in America, Babylon the Great. This is the place that's going to be destroyed utterly by nuclear missiles, and it is going to become a wasteland. It's going to become a desert that nobody inhabits again, right? So it fits perfectly that this is where we see the most sightings. As it was written, it shall remain in the midst of his house, and it was going to be a curse, right? It was going to be a curse to these people that, yup, all those vehicles that you don't know how to explain, those are going to be the things that destroy you. And let's read it, right? Let's read it. Let's read it in we'll get there's a couple scriptures that come to mind. Let's go into how Yahweh Shai, or actually Matthew 24. Right, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29, it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days, going into, hey, everything you read up here, right? Great tribulation, going into how there's famine, pestilence, plagues. After all that is pretty much done, or it's at the height of all the chaos, it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Right, and that's going into the nuclear destruction. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in the heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, aka UFO, aka vehicles of the angels, with power and great glory. Okay, and those vehicles are first and foremost coming to destroy the nation of Edom, America, Babylon the Great. Right, it talks about that in two places. In Isaiah chapter 53, Isaiah chapter 63, and Isaiah chapter 34. Now I'm gonna go hit a little bit more of an extensive lesson the Spirit taught me. This is Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 1. Right, and we just read about how the Messiah is coming back with his angels to destroy. And this is Isaiah, God's vengeance on the nations. Who is this that cometh from Edom? Edom is talking about the so-called white people. Right, so-called white people, they go back to their forefather Esau, which his name was changed to Edom, and Edom means red. It says, with dyed garments from Basra, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? And he said, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there is none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiments. For the day of my vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And that's talking about the Messiah, Yahweh Shai. Right? He's coming to first and foremost destroy the nation of Edom. And it's going to be so chaotic, right? So gruesome that it said that his garments were red, like if he was jumping in the wine fat, right? Like, for example, when you make wine, it's pretty much done by putting a bunch of grapes, right, in fermented grapes, pretty much like in a pit. And in the ancient days, you'd have a man that just go into that pit and just start jumping all over them. Right? And he said that their blood was going to be like the blood of the grape that went onto that man's garment that trodden those grapes. And that was all over the place, what I just said, but the point stands. Okay? Another scripture, right? Hey, it's talking about the same thing. God's vengeance on the nations, right? He's coming to destroy the Edomites, their empire, America. God's wrath against the nations, the same thing. It says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Right, so his indignation, right, which the word indignation goes into resentment, right, anger or annoyance provoked by what is perceived as unfair treatment. Right, his anger is upon all these nations. It says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. Right? And when it's talking about the heavens being rolled together as a scroll, this is Isaiah describing the nuclear mushroom cloud. Right? He described the mushroom cloud as a scroll being rolled together. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as the falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Right? And the sword he's talking about is those nuclear missiles. Right? It says, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Right? And Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. Right? You go into the Greek, goes into Edom. Edom equals red. Right? Which is talking about the so-called white people. Okay, and ultimately, that sword coming upon Idumea is talking about America being destroyed by nuclear missiles. Okay? And it says, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Right? Who are the people of his curse? It talks about it in Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 33. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Right? So the curse of the Lord is upon the house of the wicked. Right? And the wicked, right, same people, are the Edomites. And I just realized that connection. Just realized right now, right? This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Right? And then it goes into how it's going to enter into the house of the thief. Right? Into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. A.K.A. the wicked. A.K.A. the Edomites. Okay? A.K.A. what we saw in that picture with the main concentration of sightings in America. So, we'll get one more scripture going into how the Messiah is coming back with those vehicles. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 3. It says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Right? We just read that in Matthew chapter 24. Right? It goes into how his glorious return, the Son of Man is coming in the clouds of heaven. Right? Talking about the angels, right, which are going to be in those vehicles. It says, with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things that trembled were seen under him. And whensoever his voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth feeleth when it feeleth the fire. Right, and that's going into and when he comes back to destroy. And you can keep on reading. Goes into how right these nations are going to be fighting against each other, World War III, and in the midst of that, they're going to see the Messiah Yahweh Shai come back. They're going to stop fighting against each other. They're going to get together, be allies, and try to fight the Messiah. But ultimately, they're going to be destroyed instantly. Okay, and that's why those vehicles are a curse, right? Because if you're in the know, so if you know what's going on, these elites, right? They know the scriptures, they know the prophecies, they've read this, they know how it's been prophesied that they're gonna go down. So whenever they see one of these sightings, it's a reminder. It's a curse that, hey, time's running out, right? Time's running out, and that's why it says in Revelation, I think it's 12:12, how the devil shall come down with great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? Things are going to start speeding up because, hey, prophecy, the Israelites are waking up. Okay, and as it talks about in Revelation 11, just as those Israelites are waking up, right, shortly after, the destruction is going to come. Right? Pestilence, right? Tribulation is going to come. It's all in the timeline. So ultimately, I started off this video talking about how the Lord, right, is constantly watching. He's always looking, and went into that account of pretty much seeing like 5, 6 chairs today, literally 20 minutes ago, and just constantly be on point and remember that the Lord is always looking, and He's coming back to save His people and destroy these other nations. So hopefully this is edifying. With that, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rokah Kodash, and double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you like shalom.